The cold bit deep into 15-year-old Leo's bones. He sat shivering on a park bench at 2:17 a.m., teeth chattering, wearing just a thin hoodie and t-shirt. He'd only stepped out to take the trash to the curb and forgotten his phone. When he tried to get back inside, the deadbolt clicked shut. Rick, his stepfather, chuckled from the other side. Every door and window was locked. This wasn't the first lockout, but it was the coldest. A distant rumble grew into a roar. Headlights swept the park and pinned him. A big motorcycle pulled up. The engine died with pops and ticks. A massive bearded man in leather and denim swung off, boots heavy on the asphalt. Tattoos covered his arms. A large patch on his vest read, "Bear." Leo froze, too cold to run. The man approached, shadows swallowing the street lamp light. Silence stretched. Leo braced for trouble. "You all right, kid?" The voice was a low gravel rumble. Leo managed a jerky nod. "You're turning blue." Bear's sharp eyes spotted the house key clutched in Leo's white-knuckled hand, then scanned the dark houses across the street. He read the situation instantly. Lockout, not runaway. A faint old bruise showed on the boy's cheek. Bear could have ridden off. Instead, he saw another violent shiver and remembered his own cold nights long ago. "Come on," he said, "no room for argument. You can't stay out here." He walked back to the bike and waited without looking. After a long beat, Leo's sneakers scraped the pavement. He followed. The ride was wind and vibration. Leo clung to Bear's vest, face pressed to warm leather, hands tucked in armpits. Bear's body heat radiated like a furnace. They pulled into a windowless garage a few blocks away. Bear opened the rolling door. Warm yellow light spilled out. Two other bikers, Jax with a gray ponytail, Cutter younger and broad, sat playing cards. They glanced up. "He's with me," Bear said quietly. Tension vanished. Jax nodded and returned to cards. Cutter fetched a thick wool blanket and a steaming mug of hot chocolate without a word. Leo wrapped up, sipped. The heat hurt as his fingers thawed, but it was glorious. He sank onto a worn leather couch. Bear sat across on a stool and waited. No questions. The others resumed their game with murmurs and card slaps. Normal talk about engines and football filled the space. No stares, no pressure. Leo drifted off. Morning light filtered in. Bear cleaned a carburetor part at the workbench, now in flannel and jeans, looking like a tired giant. "Morning. Coffee's on, donuts over there." "I should go," Leo mumbled. "Where's your mom?" "Work. Flight attendant. Back tomorrow." "This happen often with your stepdad?" Leo gave a tiny nod, eyes down. Bear's jaw tightened. Anger flashed, not at the boy. "You're not going back there. You're staying till she gets home." For the next day and a half, Leo stayed. He ate with Bear, Jax, and Cutter. They showed him tools, let him clean engine parts till his hands were greasy. They treated him like a person. He learned Bear was ex-Marine, Jax a former roadie, Cutter a foster kid. A family of strays, bound by respect. He slept on the couch by choice, feeling safer amid the smell of oil and Bear's snores than in his own house. Then Rick arrived in a sleek sedan. He stormed in, eyes locking on Leo. "Leo, get in the car. Now." Leo froze. Jax and Cutter straightened, postures heavy. Bear stepped forward, planting himself between them, a wall. "He's not going anywhere with you." "Who the hell are you?" "The guy who found him half frozen on a park bench at 2 a.m. "That makes it my business." He was being disciplined. He needed a lesson. Locking a kid out in freezing weather isn't a lesson. It's abuse. "Get back in your car and leave." Rick sneered. "Or what? I'll call the police." "Kidnapping." Bear smiled coldly. "Go ahead. Explain why you locked a 15-year-old out overnight. See how that goes." Rick faltered. Jax and Cutter flanked Bear, arms crossed, silent and solid. "Leo, get over here." Rick snapped, voice cracking like a whip. Leo took a half step, old fear rising, then felt Bear's hand rest on his shoulder. Not pulling, just there. Steady. Leo looked up. Past Rick's rage, he saw Bear's calm eyes, Jax and Cutter standing guard, the garage that had become safe. He took a breath. "No," he said clearly. "I'm not going with you." Rick's face twisted red. He sputtered, spun, stormed to his car, and peeled out. Silence fell. Relief washed over Leo. Bear squeezed his shoulder. "You did good, kid. We look out for our own." When Sarah got home the next day, she found the house empty and called Leo. He told her everything. Her car screeched up to the garage an hour later. She burst in, furious and scared, then stopped. Leo sat laughing with Jax, grease on his hands, eyes bright and happy. Bear approached respectfully. "Ma'am, your son's a good kid. We just kept him warm." The story clicked. Years of hidden lessons and coldness hit her. Tears came. She hugged Leo fiercely, then looked at Bear with wordless gratitude. Divorce papers filed the next week. Rick was gone within a month. Leo and Sarah moved to a small apartment, but the garage became his second home. He called Bear, Uncle Bear. The bikers became uncles and brothers. They taught him mechanics, integrity, loyalty, what family really means. He graduated high school. The loudest cheers came from leather-vested men in the stands. He earned his master mechanic certification. Years later, at 23, Leo stood beside Bear in the garage during a barbecue, both holding root beers. His name was now on the shop sign below Bear's. Bear raised his bottle. To family. Leo clinked his. To family. One choice on a freezing night didn't just save a boy from the cold. It built a new life and a bond stronger than steel. Sometimes the scariest looking people are the ones who guard the things that matter most.